welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of October 24th to October 30th. This is a big week in the astrology, probably one of the biggest weeks in the astrology this year. And so the reason why it's such a big week, number one, is we have 2 planets changing signs, we have 1 planet changing direction, and we also have a new moon eclipse in Scorpio. Deep stuff all week, deep stuff all week. So we're starting off the week on Monday, October 24th, in a 4th quarter phase. So meaning the moon is losing light. It's the dark of the moon. There's not a lot of energy, not a lot of light, and we are not feeling a lot of energy at this point in time. Also keeping in mind that at the end of the week, Mars is going retrograde. So as he's slowing down, we are not feeling very motivated to get a bunch of stuff done. But we have some mental acuity coming in here this week. So on Tuesday, October 25th, we have the new moon in Scorpio eclipse. Now, in astrology, the eclipse happens when the new moon or the full moon happens near the nodes of the moon. And right now, the nodes of the moon are on opposite sides of the moon. They are in Taurus and Scorpio, and they spend 18 months in each sort of pair of signs. Now, the south node, which is their karmic past, what we are trying to release, what we are moving away from, is in Scorpio. Sexuality, all the things that are hidden in society, residential schools, all the atrocities coming to the surface, the Me Too movement, right? All these sexual improprieties coming to the surface. This is the Scorpio south node. And this new moon eclipse is happening with the south node. So what that means is we are having a new moon, a time for planting seeds for what we want to release and how we want to move forward now in terms of our sexuality, in terms of our relationships, in terms of the taboo subjects in society. I mean, it's no surprise that everything that's happening in Iran right now with women and oppression and under, the guise of beliefs and religion, all of that stuff is coming up now for like, what do we keep and what do we throw out? Because that is old, archaic thoughts and beliefs that really are not based in anything real. Any kind of science is actually based in a lot of misogyny, right? So I feel very passionately about that, obviously. So this is a highly transformative new moon, and it's an eclipse. So it means that it's a heightened new moon. And in Scorpio, it's even more healing, even more deep, even more intense and passionate. And it's about transformation, death, rebirth, and transformation. Pluto is Scorpio's ruling planet, and Scorpio is all about transcendence, transformation through acknowledging the darkest sides of us, the shadow, really incorporating that shadow and integrating it, because that's part of you. So this new moon is bringing with it a host of information, a host of aspects that are helping with this eclipse. And the first one is the sun, the moon, Venus, kind of Mercury's a little further out, and the south node are all sitting together in Scorpio, Mercury sitting in Libra. So they're very close though. So when we think about all these planets sitting together, the south node is our karmic past. What are we healing from and releasing, learning from to bring those into the future, the good things, and releasing the bad things, or the things that we don't want to kind of keep with us. The sun is our vitality, our egoic self, and how do we feel about ourselves. The moon is our intuition, our divine feminine, women in society. Venus is our relationships, what we love and value, and Mercury is our thoughts and beliefs. So all of these things are sitting together. Now, Mercury is sitting in Libra, which is giving us this lovely kind of ability to see both sides of the coin, to help us to understand relationships and trying to find a win-win. It's a beautiful energy that's going to be helping with this. And then the other ones are in this deep, passionate, fixed water sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a fixed water sign, and I like to think of it as like the water at the depths of the ocean, like that doesn't really move. It's just kind of sitting there holding all the secrets. That is Scorpio. So this new moon is going to be really intense. Another few things that are happening is Mars is trine to these planets that are all sitting together in Scorpio and that Libra planet Mercury. And that Mars trine that is giving us energy, giving us the willpower, wanting to go. Let's make things happen. Let's evolve society, which is great, but it's still in retrograde. So we're about to go retrograde. So we're going to have this energy kind of continue for the next 2 weeks. So that can be really intense. Trine means that it's an easy flow. And these are two air signs. So this is giving us that intellect and ideas, and it can keep us in our head. So this is going to be a really great time to make sure you're meditating and moving that energy physically, not just through your thoughts and going over the hamster wheel, is to get that physical energy out of you in some way. Going to the gym, going for walks, going for hikes, great time to do that. And our mind is really activated because it's part of this, right? Mind being our Mercury. And this Mercury is going to be trine to Saturn, and that's also going to kind of be in play for the rest of the week as well. So Mercury trine Saturn, Saturn's about a responsibility. So we feel this responsibility in Aquarius to the collective, and now he's direct. So what are we doing? What are we saying? What are we actually putting in place to make sure that we are being there for each other? So there's lots of vigils, there's lots of ways to give back. The war in Ukraine is going to ramp up for sure. There's this Pluto energy that's coming through this week that is going to intensify conflicts. So we're going to see that conflict in Ukraine start to build and build and build. And then we've also seen another warning from China about taking back Taiwan. So we're going to see that start to escalate in a new way. And there are players behind the scenes that are trying to calm the heat, if you will, but there is agendas in play here. And I feel like Korea also has a play, North Korea for South Korea as well. So we're seeing these kind of countries, it's quite interesting, almost like a retrograde, going back in time to kind of say, this used to be mine and I want it back. And they're like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Ukraine's like, we used to be part of Russia, but now we're our own separate entity. And it's okay, Dad. It's okay. We can be over here. We're going to be independent. And Russian dad's like, no, you come home. So that's going to be its whole thing. So that's making this week quite intense, is that these planets in Scorpio and that Mercury in Libra are squaring Pluto. And Pluto is about death, rebirth, and transformation. So that Pluto is bringing up conflict. It is bringing up the shadow. It's bringing all the times that we don't feel like we're enough, that we're wanting to get our way, but we're not. It's a battle with authority, with men specifically as well, because it's in Capricorn. So men, authority figures, powerful figures. And a square feels like we just can't win. We're trying to control things. So the big theme for this new moon, and I know my mediumship friends who are watching and my people here that do mediumship, you're going to hear this and you're going to know, you're like, oh my God, this is so meant for me. Surrender. Just surrender in terms of, and then, I mean, not surrender in terms of the war, but surrender your control. The parts of things that you can't control. You can't control what's happening in Iran. You can't control what's happening in Taiwan. You can't control what's happening in Russia or in Ukraine. But what we can do is send money, send healing, create funds, create drives to collect food or warm clothing. They're going to be going into winter in Ukraine. So sending things there to help those people as well. And not forget that we also have people here to help. So it can be really overwhelming that there's so much going on in the world. And when we feel outside of ourselves, we got to pull that back in. That's that square to Pluto, is that we're trying to control everything, and control is an illusion. And Pluto is here to help you evolve through that illusion, right? This is about transcendence and how can we move above this? So Scorpio's energy is deep intuition. Scorpios are smart, so smart. They can tell what's happening in a situation even before you say anything, and they can read your energy versus your words. So when you think about that scorpionic energy, you're going to use that all week, right? And this eclipse is going to be in play for 6 months now. Eclipses are massive, transformative, evolutionary aspects in astrology because it involves the nodes of the moon. And the nodes of the moon are about our karmic destiny and our karmic past. The North Node, which is the next full moon, is going to be about where are we heading to? What are we doing? Which is Taurus. The nodes of the moon. The North Node of the moon is in Taurus now. So the next full moon is going to be that eclipse in Taurus. So we'll talk about that on the next one. 4 weeks from now. No, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, because it's a full moon. So, and Wednesday, October 26th, we have Mercury trine to Mars. That was already in play at the new moon, but it's going to be exact the next day. So Wednesday, and this is a good energy. This is increased clarity, adventurous confidence, increased mental energy capacity, great for concentration, great for persuasive communication. If you have something hard to say or hard to ask, or you need to ask a favor, Wednesday is going to be the best day to do it, but there's still the moon is square to Saturn and opposite Uranus, so it can be a bit of an anxious day. So just kind of keeping that in mind, but lots of mental energy on this day. So again, remember that trine can be great for creating wonderful ideas and great communication and connections, things like that. But on the negative side, it can be overthinking, ruminating, trying to sit in this thing and obsessing with that. That Pluto, it can bring obsession. Now, on Thursday, October 25th, we have Mercury square to Pluto. So this Mercury square to Pluto was already in play, but it's exact on Thursday. So it's kind of going to be playing out all week. And the square to Pluto, again, is that hamster on the wheel, can't stop thinking about the thing, obsessive thinking, saying really harsh things, right? Being careful with what you say, conflicts, power struggles. Where do you feel out of control in your life? Intense interactions with others. This can be really passionate energy as well, right? You're very passionate about what you believe, or you're really passionate and sexy in sex. Great for research, great for uncovering the truth, great for investigation, and really great for therapy because you're digging to the heart of the matter. It's almost like that square is like helping you dig to the root of what have you been thinking that holds you apart from having the relationships, having the money, having the lifestyle, having all the things you love and value, Venus. In Libra, well, yeah, that's Venus as well. That's being brought up at this time. So Thursday, October 27th is going to be a deep introspective day, and you might be getting reflected back to you on this day, all the ways that you don't feel like you're enough, or all the ways that you might give away power or control, or maybe you feel like you don't have any power and control. Friday, October 28th, we have Jupiter is retrograding now, going back through Aries and now going back into Pisces. And he's going to go back into Pisces now until like next year. He's going to come back out. He's going to come back. Oh, actually, he's going to come direct at this point again on December 20th or 21st, depending on where you look. So Jupiter is about expansion, optimism, and good luck. And Jupiter was at this Pisces point, which is 29 degrees of Pisces, on May 10th. So if you look back on May 10th, what were you expanding on? What were you excited about? What was getting your blood racing? Because whatever that is coming back around again, like the hot wings I had at dinner that one night with heartburn. Like it's almost like it's coming up again. That was a terrible analogy. I'm so sorry. October 28th is when the retrograde is going to come back over that degree again, which is the 29th degree of Pisces. Now, when Jupiter is in Pisces, this is a time of compassion, illumination through spirituality, through intuition. You're getting downloads. Things are coming up for you that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just having all these mental breakthroughs to understand why this is happening for me, or this feels like the time that this happened. Ooh, look at that ribbon that's weaving through your life of introspective points for you to help heal whatever's coming up for you. So intuition and beliefs will help guide us to deeper understandings of ourself in the world. Belief in oneself is going to come up. Where do you not trust yourself? Where do you need some more deeper faith? Where is the ways that you can come into really using like law of attraction information, spiritual tools, your imagination, and start to come back into that magical quality of life. Because you might be getting lost in all of the things that Pluto is bringing up, all the lack, perhaps, and Jupiter is reminding you, no, there's a magical quality to you. You're an energetic being having a human experience. Where is the energy? Where are you forgetting that you're an energetic being and you can control an energetic world if you start to focus your mind accordingly? What you focus on grows. On this day as well, we have a minor aspect, which is Mercury in conjunct to Jupiter, retrograde in Pisces. So this in conjunct is a need for adjustment. So this is a need for adjustment in terms of uncovering the truth. You might feel like you don't have enough information to move forward in life right now. That's fine. Mars is about to go retrograde the next day or in a couple days. So you don't have time for that. Oh, sorry. The Mercury in conjunct to Jupiter is on Saturday, October 29th. And then on this day as well, so this Mercury in conjunct to Jupiter just feels like you have a lot of options, or you have an abundance of things at your fingertips, but you can't make any of them work, or you don't know what to choose because there's so many things that you want to do, or so many things are calling to your heart. So it's a time now to do none of them. Unless, of course, it's an exploding offer and it's like everything that you want and you got to sign the contract. Just be really, really sure that it is exactly what you want and you get everything in writing. Okay? Because Mars is going retrograde very, very soon. Now, on October 29th, we also have a planet changing signs, which is Mercury. Our mind is moving from beautiful Libra into Scorpio. So in Libra, there's this kind of lovely quality of like, let's all win and everything is fair and we can find a way for everybody to win. And Scorpio thinking is more like, life's not fair. And what are you supposed to learn from it? What are you coming here to? This inequity or in these issues are coming up to help us learn something very deep about ourselves. Can we learn that? It also likes to talk about really deep connections and deeper topics, likes to talk about Mercury's our mind, communication, thought process. So we don't want to have, how's the weather? Right? That's not Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is, how did the trauma that your mother inflicted on you affect your relationships today? Oof, Scorpio, right? It's getting to the heart of the matter, asking those deep questions. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. That is Scorpio. Mercury in Scorpio. Life is not fair, but it seeks the truth, your truth, right? It's wanting to understand what are the deeper connections here? What is the deeper meanings behind everything? And this is intuitive energy, very, very intuitive energy. So we're going to feel that deeper sense of intuition coming in to help us with this as well. So that's Saturday with this this Mercury going into Scorpio. And then we also have Mercury in conjunct to Jupiter, feeling like there's so many options and we don't know which to choose. Or that you might be making too big a plan and there's some realism coming in now to kind of clip your wings a little bit. So just kind of an adjustment needing to be made with your thoughts, ideas, and big plans for the future and what is realistic. What can we really accomplish now? And then Sunday, October 30th, one of the biggest days of the year, is Mars is going retrograde. Now, Mars is our energy, vitality, passion, desire, motivation, how we egoically move forward in the world. And when Mars goes retrogrades, it's a bit of a boner killer. I'm going to be honest. It's like you can't move forward. And as somebody who's extremely driven, I feel like you're just sitting still almost. But that's the beauty of it, right? Astrology is there to help us understand the energetic winds that are influencing us all. Mars retrograde is a time for us to go inward, to slow down, and to really reassess what is our motivations. What are we really passionate about now? And where do we want to move forward as it moves forward? So now Mars in Gemini is an air sign. And air is about intellectual ideas, connection, communication. That's like emails, right? So this can lead to a lot of misunderstandings. I'm going to be honest, I don't really love Mars in Gemini because it's such flippy floppy energy. I can feel it in myself. I can feel where I'm just normally I'm very decisive and I know what I want. And I'm sitting here going, I don't know if I want this. Or one minute I'm like, yes. And the next minute I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I'm not normally like that, but this energy is helping me. I'm reframing it. It is helping me to understand all the ways that I maybe choose things that are actually creating so much work for myself when really I have all the tools that I need. I feel like I might have just boiled down Mars retrograde season for you. So Mars is going retrograde on Sunday, October 30th at 25 degrees of Gemini. And he's not going to move forward until January 12th, y'all. So over Christmas, I actually feel this energy is going to be really good for Christmas and New Year's, because it's going to just say, like, you can't do anything. You can't move forward. It's a time that, like, you've lost your momentum. You have to slow down, working through your ego trips and understanding these kind of learning from your lessons and everything that's coming up. It's a really beautiful time for introspection and really getting some help with that. So it's going to be a bumpy ride between now, October 30th, and January 12th. Kind of can feel like stops and starts. It can feel like your energy is shifting very rapidly. It can feel like you like something, then you don't. And it's very, especially if you're really driven, you have a lot of fire in your chart as well, it can feel like, man, this sucks, because getting things done and moving forward with new things, launches, starting new routines, things like that, it's going to be a little bit flippy floppy. That's what I'll say. And it happens every 26 months and it lasts for 72 days. What's different with this one, though, is that Mars is in Gemini. So Gemini being an air sign, it's just, and it's mutable. So it's already just kind of already goes where it wants. It's very curious. It's very intellectual. So there's another intellectual, energy coming in that's adding to this, like, overthinking things, sitting on the same spot and ruminating. So we want to make sure you're shifting out of that and using this energy for something. This would be a great time to go back to the gym. So it'd be a great time to pick up a workout routine or some sort of regime that you really enjoyed in the past. Go back to it. Mars retrograde. That would be a lovely way to use this energy. Because when Mars goes forward in June 12th, he will stay in Gemini again. Like I said, I'm not personally a fan of Mars in Gemini because, like I said, it feels so like you're so wishy-washy and flippy floppy with, like, maybe I want this, maybe I want this, maybe I want this, maybe I want this. So I'm going to stay there till March. So we've got a long time to sit with the energy of Gemini and understand its intellectual, wonderful gifts that it brings, its curiosity, its ability to see multiple sides of things, and give us the permission to change your mind, because this is what this energy is about. It's okay to change your mind. This slowdown is also going to be very, very potent on December 7th. When the full moon in Gemini is exact with this Mars retrograde in Gemini. So just keep that in mind on your calendar, that full moon in Gemini on December 7th is going to be very potent, and you're just not going to feel like you're getting any headway moving forward at all at that time. So if you're in business and you're doing things that are like in launches, things like that, get on it now before that point. Moving forward is going to be about a lot of lessons learned. And I'm going to say now, I mean, business doesn't stop. The economy doesn't stop. People's lives don't stop. So everything that you're going to be doing between October 30th and January 12th, you are going to go over it again in a new way, seeing it with new eyes in the coming year, and then in the next, first 3 months of 2023. So just keep that in mind. And it's not meant to be negative at all. But like I said, I'm used to operating in full go speed. And this is meant to be a timeout from the universe to just slow down and really determine, what do you want? What do you want? Release control because you don't have it. All right, so wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Thanks for being here and listening to this part of the video. I appreciate you. We're in this together. You are not alone. If you need some support or you're just kind of feeling a little down, you can watch my social media feeds or you can message me and I'll give you some uplifting words of wisdom. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Bye.